In light of the questions we're hearing about the police response down in Texas, we wanted to know what are local law enforcement policies when it comes to active shooter situations. And our Brad Hamilton found out and joins us now with some answers. Brad?
Eric, we did some research on the active shooter policies for Madison, Middleton, and Fitchburg police. What we found was a consistent approach. First and foremost, eliminate the threat to preserve life. But as one lieutenant told us, while it's important to have a plan, it's not always easy to execute. As we all continue to learn in real time the details of what happened in Uvalde, Texas, Fitchburg Lieutenant Edward Hartwick can't help but think, what if?
We're thinking of that incident as parents, as spouses of educators, people that may be working in the school. And we're also, of course, thinking of what that might look like for us having to respond to a similar incident here.
Lieutenant Hartwick is in charge of preparing the Fitchburg community for an active shooter situation. He's also an expert on how his force is trained to respond.
Over the years, the training has shifted into responding into that scene as quickly as possible. And our first and number one priority as law enforcement is to stop that threat.
It turns out that Fitchburg police are not alone. Madison police list their top priority during an active shooter situation as being to, quote, prevent the loss of life, while Middleton PD lists their first priority as being to, quote, neutralize the threat. And Lieutenant Hartwick says that they practice that approach often.
We train on a regular basis, and we train not only within our department, but with other first responder agencies.
Lieutenant Hartwick was quick to point out that regardless of how many hours you train, nothing can compare to the real-life pressure felt in Uvalde, Texas.
There's no amount of training that can replicate just how chaotic and hectic these situations can be, the emotions involved.
But Lieutenant Hartwick says that it is important to learn as an officer how to best prepare for this kind of situation that, unfortunately, our nation knows far too well.
At any time that we hear of a mass shooting, an active shooter situation, it always brings to the surface what a lot of us consider to be our worst nightmare type call.
And for more on each department's policy, head to our website, channel3000.com.